We are here and we are strong. Let's be counted as we move on. Make a difference, change lives as we tell our different stories. We are capable, beautiful. We are born to do great things. We're unstoppable, incredible, 'cause we're differently abled, differently.
Hello there, and welcome to yet another exciteful episode of Able Differently. And as always, we've got a great show lined up for you. Today, we feature Kilimanjaro Blind Trust Africa and Acorn Special Tutorials. My name is Jane Theory. Let's get started.
We're differently abled, differently.
Welcome back, and you're definitely watching Able Differently. Necessity is mother of invention. With the need to curb the limitations that come with using the Braille machine, we now have the Orbit Reader 20, which is much smaller and efficient. Blind Trust Africa has taken the initiative to ensure that all learners who are visually impaired get this gadget. Take a look.
Suparna Biswas, the CEO at Kilimanjaro Blind Trust Africa, says that employability is their ultimate goal. For this to be achieved, then learners, especially those with visual impairment, must be able to learn with less or no strain at all. With this gadget, learners at all levels of education are able to write and also save their work. This is less strenuous as compared to before.
What we do is we provide a digital assistive device, which is a multifunctional, affordable, absolutely amazing device. What it can do for the Braille user. It can act as a note taker, as a book reader, as a screen reader. That is, it can connect to computers and other devices, and the Braille user can use Braille instead of having to learn another device, for example, the QWERTY, which is the way you type on a computer. So the whole idea is that as we make education and quality education accessible to those with visual impairment, they become active learners in the classroom.
The cost of an Orbit Reader 20 is also much lower. To effectively use the Orbit Reader 20, teachers and technicians are trained on how to use it.
An Orbit Reader, which is this Braille multifunctional device, digital device, costs 665,000. Let's say 65 to 70,000 Kenya shillings. It depends on the dollar rate. And a Brailler, which can do only one thing, costs 100,000 plus, 120,000 now. So we are providing a solution that is digital, which is where the learners need to go in order to be able to access higher education. We are providing the digital content. We work closely with the government and other international digital content libraries that can provide access to many different books, all kinds of books in all subjects possible. We provide training for the users, so we don't directly train the learners. We train through the school management with the teachers, and we train school-based technicians to make sure that these devices are in continuous use and don't break down. So if they break down, we provide spare parts and we repair. We teach the technicians to repair. And so it's a full service that KBT is providing in order to ensure that all the learners who are in school have these devices, can access content, which means not only the curriculum, but other books, and they can also have as much information as they need by connecting to the computer or connecting to other devices, but still using their Braille. Because literacy and education is about not about listening and learning, which they do all the time, but it's about being able to read and write.
This is a great improvement that can also be adopted by the Kenya National Examination Council, NEC, since the gadget has already been approved by the Ministry of Education.
So with this Orbit Reader 20, it has the 6 keys just as the normal braille machine, but with the 6 keys, what happens? One, you have to be braille literate so that you can be able to operate it, and then we have the dots 1, 2, 3, then 4, 5, 6. What happens? This is a full braille cell. A full braille cell, that is where all the letters of the alphabet come from. So whether you want to press or you want to write letter A, letter B, letter C, they have to come here. At some point, it will be a combination of 2, 3, or even 5 keys to make one letter. For instance, I will press 1 like this. This is letter A. If I want to press B, it will be 1 and 2, that is letter B. If I want to press or write letter Z, it will be 1, 3, then 5, 6. That is letter Z. That is how it goes. So for our learners, as they begin, this is the starting point. They have to know the letters against the numbers. So number 1 stands for letter A, number 1, 2 stands for letter B, and so on and so forth. So once they're done, then they're okay, they can move on. Then after that, we have this, it's called a navigation pad. A navigation pad, since it's a digital device, we have to move around, to be able to move around in the content that we have. So we use the navigation pad here. We either scroll downwards, upwards, or to the left to be able to achieve or to be able to see what is or the content that has been loaded in the Orbit Reader 20.
Learners who are interested in STEM courses have not been left behind. And as the CEO explains, although the mode of implementation seems to have left parents out, this doesn't mean that they can't come in handy.
We haven't been able to engage with the parents, and I think that one of the things that is important for us is that parents should know that if they have visually impaired children at home, they must send them to school. There are many schools. As I said, there are 46 schools across Kenya, both special and integrated, inclusive schools, that can take in their child and give them an education. They have to know that at least KBTA is able, through the work that it does with the government and with the schools and so on, able to provide access to education, to real education, so that their children can be somebody someday.
Kilimanjaro Blind Trust Africa works actively across 5 countries in Africa and also supports other countries if need arises.
But we work in 5 countries. We work in Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, Rwanda, and Malawi. This is where we have direct activities and programs, but we also support some other countries for training and other things, which, for example, in Ethiopia and Mozambique and in Burkina Faso. So we're trying to open the doors, but we are not actively present in these countries.
They have a target of reaching out to every learner who is visually impaired and have so far given out more than 1,000 Orbit readers.
Kenya and many of the countries that we are present in have what is known as special schools for the visually impaired, and they also are now moving into the spaces of integrated and inclusive classrooms. So there are about 46 primary schools and 15 secondary schools that are either special schools or integrated schools in Kenya, and we are present in all of them across 30 counties.
Kilimanjaro Blind Trust Africa is appealing to well-wishers to join them in this journey of ensuring full inclusivity.
Is fighting for that concept of inclusion, of how no one gets left behind. Of course, our focus is on the visually impaired, and we work very much with technology and innovation. We try to be as innovative as possible, and we support all kinds of innovations in assistive technology in other areas which will be of use to those with different abilities.
Let's catch a breather and we'll be right back with more. Don't go too far. Our tip of today is in reference to sight. People tend to feel awkward when using words such as see, look, or phrases like see you later. However, I want to assure you that there is nothing wrong with using such words because they are English phrases and words, and it doesn't mean that you have to have the power of sight.
We're differently abled, differently.
Let's take a look at the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities.
Article 24 of the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities states that state parties shall ensure that persons with disabilities are able to access general tertiary education, vocational training, adult education and lifelong learning without discrimination and on an equal basis with others. To this end, state parties shall ensure that reasonable accommodation is provided to persons with disabilities.
I'm afraid that's where we come to the end of the program for today, but be sure to join us every other Sunday when time and space allows. I've been your host, Jane Theory. Goodbye.
We are here and we are strong. Let's be counted as we move on. Make a difference, change lives as we tell our different stories. We are capable, beautiful. We are born to do great things. We're unstoppable, incredible, 'cause we're differently abled, differently.